Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is Curseof and welcome back to another video. Today we are here with some more Rush Duel conversation. Today I'm basically asking the question, is Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duels a bad game? Is it garbage? Is it worth trying? What do I think on the matter? So yeah, let's get into this. So first things first, why don't we go over the way the Rush Duel game itself works. Basically, like Speed Duels, we have 3 monster zones, 3 spell and trap zones. You have your field zone, your extra deck zone, your main deck zone, your graveyard zone, and you have your banish pile. So right now, at first glance, feels a lot like Speed Duels, right? Here's where things get a little bit different. It's still a 40 card deck. Okay? 40 card deck. Interesting. Every turn, you don't draw 1 card, you draw 5 cards. So every single turn in the game, you're starting with 5 cards in your hand. Okay? So you get to see a lot of resources really quickly. Interesting. What else? The next thing is, well, as you can see on a deck list that's going to show up on the screen here, we're running a lot of monsters, a lot of normal monsters at that, and a lot of tribute monsters at that as well. Well, there is no summon limit. You can normal summon and you can special summon as many times as possible. That means if I draw, I don't know, 3 monsters and 2 spells, I can summon every single monster and then set those 2 spells. I can put my entire hand on the field, and then I can go ahead and pass turn. My following turn comes around after my opponent ends their turn. I get to pick up 5 brand new cards, and I can summon all those out as well. So, not only do you have the Speed Duel zones and stuff, but to spice it up, we have a 40 card deck like the Master Rule TCG, so it feels like a Speed Duel Master Rule combination here. But then we start throwing in some Rush Duel specific rules like draw 5 and summon as many times as possible. Along with that, there's a little bit different things in mechanics. For example, there's cards called legend cards. Right now we only have the Blue Eyes White Dragon as our legend card. And it seems like legend cards are just really big boss monsters in the game. And basically, a legend card means, hey, you can only run 1 copy of this card in your deck ever because it is legendary. So yeah, right now we only have Blue Eyes White Dragon being that, but it's an interesting concept. And then the other thing is too is the way effect activation happens here. It doesn't seem like there's anything that's just like an on summon effect, and you like I tend to forget to use these effects. For example, Rush Dragon Dragears, his effect is this turn this card can make a second attack during the battle phase. It destroyed a monster by battle. But there is a requirement section that says send the top card of your deck to the graveyard. So you have to meet the requirement section for the card during your main phase in order to use the effect, whether it's during the battle phase, end phase, main phase, whenever you use it. But you have to meet the requirement during the main phase to use the effect in whatever phase it's usable in, which is something that I tend to forget about a lot. So now that we covered all of the, well, mechanics of the game, is it good or is it bad? Well, you look at these mechanics and a lot of people immediately think 5 cards, unlimited summons, this is just stupid, I'm not wasting my time with this shit. But if you really actually sit down and play a few matches in the game, it's a very interesting concept in all honesty. I mean, you get to just like spam out cards like crazy, and when you're doing that for the very first time, it honestly feels like a lot of fun. When you're just throwing a bunch of monsters on the field, and then you tribute off 2 of them, drop a Blue Eyes, you summon another one, you tribute that one off, and you drop a Dragears, and you're just chilling. It feels genuinely amazing. Along with that, if you're knocked into a position where, well, it's like, hey, I'm losing right now, they have a Blue Eyes on field and a Dragears on field, and they've wiped out my entire board, I can't out those monsters right now, that's fine. You're not just in a top decking. I need a 1-card recovery. Come on. Ah, shit. No, it's more like, all right, let's see what I got in this new hand. Can I break your board? You basically get a new hand to break their board every single turn. It's not a matter of top decking and hoping for the best. It's more like, well, let me take the 5 top cards in my deck and hope for the best. And if your deck has some draw cards, well, maybe we'll have some more hope in there. But yeah, so it's actually a lot of fun to play, and I'll show you guys some replays, I'm sure, on the screen. I have been going through this. But it's a lot more fun to play than you would expect. And I really recommend that all of you give it like a chance. There is a decent bit of strategy involved in the game. It's not just, let me throw all these out there and try and go in for game. No, you do have to play around cards like the Pseudo Mirror Force and outs like Dragon Strike. And do I normal summon a dragon monster? And if you're playing the dragon deck, what card do I leave cards in my hand, or do I commit all to the field? As the dragon deck requires cards in hand to trigger its trap effects. What cards do I snipe out? And it's a lot more skill based than you'd originally expect. You think it's just like luck sack, I top deck. Oh geez, well here I destroy you. GG. It's a lot more interesting than you would anticipate. And yeah, I recommend everyone giving it a try. But there are some issues with the game. There is no doubt about that. So a big issue with the Master Rule TCG is the fact that, well, there is no limit to special summons. So you get like Link spam decks, or you get Zodiac on 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 Zodiac, or you summon like 7 monsters in 1 turn. Like, I mean like 7 zones. I don't know if I've actually ever seen anyone leave like a whole like 7 zones used up in a competitive deck, but I've seen 6. So, you know, that's pretty crazy. And like, because there is no special summon limit, you can just pop off like that. And there's obviously no like mana, resource, or anything like that. Well, this game has no normal summon or special summon limit, which I think leads to a lot of potential issues later on. There's a lot of cards in the main TCG that like are pretty decent, but we don't use because we have these normal summon limits, and they have to be normal summon, they can't be special summoned, but they have really good effects. Well, that basically won't be an issue in Rush Duels, and these like broken cards that we struggle to summon can easily just be dropped in the Rush Duel format with those infinite normal summons being allowed. And I think that leads to a lot of potential issues later on. And Konami, like in Japan, is going to have to think a lot about what cards they do add to this game to see whether or not they're going to be healthy or not, because this game can definitely go in a bad direction if things get too out of hand. Another big issue with this game, at least right now, is that there is 2 decks in the game. There is dragons, spellcasters. If you're not playing one of those, you're not playing a deck that can, well, really win. So yeah, those are basically your only 2 options in the current meta. And it makes it very, very, well, you're locked down. It's like playing like a tier 0 format, but basically you have to play these decks because there's actually a card pool that's only big enough to play these 2 decks. I mean, obviously this issue is going to be addressed as they come out with more product in Rush Duels. Right now it's a little bit stale, or it gets stale really, really fast because you're so limited to what you can play. But well, you know, the biggest thing that bothers me about this game is that it's only available in Japan. So yeah, Rush Duels is a Japanese-only card game. All the cards are in Japanese, and basically if you don't play the OCG, you can't play Rush Duels, which I think sucks. I think it's really, really stupid that it's like, well, Konami in the TCG has Speed Duels, so Konami in the OCG will have Rush Duels, because they're 2 completely different games. It's not like they're like slight counterparts of each other or anything like that. They're 2 completely different games, and they play completely differently, and the meta is completely different, and the style of play is completely different, and the intrigue is completely different. I play Speed Duels. I enjoy Speed Duels in a different way than I enjoy Rush Duels, for example. And I think both should be given a chance to play in both locations, but that's just my opinion. Anyway, guys, this wasn't like a crazy informative video or anything like that, but, you know, I just wanted to talk about Rush Duels. I'm not going to keep on doing a bunch of Rush Duels videos. I just wanted to, you know, a couple videos talking about it, as it is a very interesting game. And, yeah, Legend Blue Eyes is a collectible card, so that's pretty cool, too. But anyway, that's going to wrap, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will be back tomorrow with actual Speed Duel content. So I'll catch you guys then. But anyway, that's a wrap, guys.